There's one mistake that can destroy any aquarium, and most of us make it without realizing it because it feels responsible, productive. It feels like the right thing to do, but over time, it keeps the tank from ever fully stabilizing. So today, I want to show you how that happens and how to stop it. When something goes wrong in an aquarium, our first instinct is to do a water change. If algae shows up or the water turns cloudy, we tend to reach for the hose. But not every problem requires fresh water. Ammonia spikes are a real emergency. Fish gasping at the surface is a real emergency. Those are valid reasons. Algae is not. Slight cloudiness is not. A water change is not neutral. No matter how good your replacement water is, it will always be different from what your aquarium has. Different temperature, different dissolved gases, different mineral balance, and lower oxygen levels than your aquarium water. Every time you change large amounts of water, you shift the environment, and your fish and bacteria have to readjust. It takes a while for fish to adapt to a new environment. They need stability, and your biological filtration needs it as well. When water changes become the automatic solution, the system never gets a chance to correct itself. Instead of reaching for new water, ask yourself if the situation is truly dangerous or just uncomfortable. Water changes are powerful, but they should be deliberate, not reactive. Use them when they are absolutely needed, not every time something doesn't look perfect. I don't think anybody loves the sight of algae. I mean, some kinds don't look the worst, but most of them don't look pretty either. When we see it, we want it gone. And that's fair, especially because it can be a sign that something isn't right. Not always, a little bit of algae is normal, but a full-on algae bloom is never normal. The problem is that we panic, and we treat the algae as if it were the fire, when it's really the smoke. We should actually be grateful for algae. It's a signal. Without it, the real issue would still be there. Our plants would slowly melt and nothing would truly thrive, because the cause would still be present. When algae shows up, we know it's time to do something. But let's not do the wrong thing. Attacking the algae itself, removing it by hand, scraping it off, or using chemicals, that's not the real solution. It might make your aquarium look prettier, but it doesn't make it healthier. The goal is to fix the cause. It could be an ammonia spike, a nutrition problem, a temperature issue, equipment malfunction, or even using the wrong equipment to begin with. When you figure out the cause, you build a healthy aquarium, and once the system is healthy, the algae fades on its own. If you guys are enjoying the video, remember to like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and get to more people who love this hobby. Plant leaves are small solar panels. They capture light, convert CO2 into sugars, and produce the energy that fuels root growth, tissue repair, and new leaves. When a plant is weak, it's already energy limited. If you remove half its leaves, you remove half its energy production. Now the plant has to repair damage, adapt to unstable conditions, and grow new tissue with less power. That slows recovery instead of helping it. Healthy plants store carbohydrates in stems, roots, and rhizomes, but those reserves are not infinite. When a plant is stressed, it uses those reserves. If you trim aggressively during that period, you reduce photosynthesis, increase energy demand, and that can be catastrophic. In a planted aquarium, plants are infrastructure. More leaf mass means more nutrient uptake, more ammonia processing, more oxygen production, more stability overall. When you remove too much plant mass during stress, you reduce the tank's ability to buffer problems. That's when algae takes advantage. This doesn't mean you shouldn't trim your plants. When your plants are healthy, trimming is a good thing. They grow stronger. But trimming a plant that's struggling is not a good idea. Instead of trimming everything, stabilize CO2, keep your lighting consistent, maintain fertilization, do normal water changes, and give it time. When a plant struggles, protect its ability to produce energy, because recovery comes from energy. And speaking of healthy plants, I've made it my mission to grow extremely healthy plants, grown fully underwater, and in the best possible conditions. I also take pride in our packaging method, to the point that we guarantee that our plants will survive any weather conditions. If you want to see if we're true to our word, there'll be a link to our store in the video description. Understock, then overstock. When a tank is brand new, understocking is a very smart thing to do. In the beginning, the system is stabilizing, bacteria colonies are still developing, plants are still adapting, and every new fish adds waste. The more waste you add early, the harder it is for the system to find balance. Too many fish in the beginning doesn't speed things up, it overwhelms the tank. Less fish means less ammonia, less pressure on biological filtration, and more room for the ecosystem to settle. But here's where most people get it wrong. Once the tank is stable, they keep it understocked, and that creates a different problem. Fish are not just decoration. They produce nutrients that plants rely on. They produce CO2, they graze on algae, and they control small microfauna populations that could otherwise take over. A mature tank with too few fish can become nutrient-starved. Plants slow down, growth weakens, and instability can return. Your aquarium will give you clear signs when it's time to add more fish: consistent parameters, clear water, steady plant growth, fish behaving normally. That's when the ecosystem is carrying itself, and that's when increasing your livestock makes your tank stronger, instead of pushing it past its limits. Timing matters more than intensity. Too many fish too early destabilizes the system. Too few fish too late weakens it. In the beginning, protect the balance. After achieving stability, feed the ecosystem. The goal isn't maximum stocking and isn't permanent minimal stocking. It's understanding when the system is ready to carry more life. After 6 months, your aquarium is just better. Early on, most of the biological work happens inside the filter. The aquarium is technically cycled, but it's shallow. Waste is processed in one area, and that area is your filter. Small changes can still trigger ammonia spikes or sudden algae blooms. After several months, biofilm begins covering everything, and bacteria populations diversify. Waste is broken down across the entire aquarium. This is why older tanks react slower to changes, parameters don't swing as fast, and mistakes don't hit as hard. The same happens with algae. In young tanks, algae is aggressive. It spreads quickly and it takes advantage of weak plants. In mature tanks, plants have established root systems and are stronger and healthier. So algae grows slower, more localized, and sometimes fades without intervention. So, did you guess what the one mistake that destroys aquariums is? Overreacting, constantly stepping in, changing things, trying to rescue the tank before it had time to stabilize. Make one well-thought adjustment, then wait. And let me know in the comments, what has been your experience with this topic? Has overreacting ever caused you problems? And if it has, how did you solve them?